Hello, this is Kerry from Drunk on Wanderlust. Now this is part 2 of us hiking and wild camping the Pendle Witches Way. But don't worry, if you haven't seen part 1, you can check it out on the link above or find it on my channel. Now we're going to start exactly where we left off in part 1, and that was wild camping at the summit of Pendle Hill. Let's go. We were so shattered from the climb up at the end of the day yesterday, we literally crawled into our sleeping bags and fell asleep. And before we knew it, morning had come and it was time to pack down. Good morning everybody! So here we are at the top of Pendle Hill. We had a lovely night's sleep. It was a bit chilly, but yeah, I slept absolutely fine. Didn't have any bother from any spirits or, you know. But we're all packed down, leave no trace as always, and I'll see you on the trail. Unfortunately, Johnny couldn't join me on the rest of the trail, but before he left, we decided to head over to the trig point and soak up the early morning views.
Right, morning guys, so we're up on top of Pendle Hill at the summit. If you look out over there, that's heading looking out towards the Irish Sea. You've got BAE Systems there and Salisbury. That's all that Blackburn and Eckington. Burnway. And then you've got that Nelson over there. That's taking you off over to Skipton. But if you look there, you can see them all today. That's the Yorkshire Three Peaks right there in the distance.
The views were incredible. Literally panoramic landscape from every angle.
Adios guys.
Bye.
See you next time.
Alas, it was time to bid farewell.
See you later.
Off he goes into the sunrise.
Let's go, Kerry.
Mr. Johnny Tentpeg, the man, the legend. And then there was one. Time to set off solo. My aim was to cover around 14 miles today and pitch up somewhere towards the bottom of Burkitt Fell. Okay, here we are. I am a few miles out of the next town called Clitheroe. I'm just making my way down off Pendle Hill. It's still a bit nippy, but I'm sure as I get a little bit lower, I can start removing some of these layers. I think I've got about 3 coats on at the minute. It's crazy. But as you can see, look at this incredible view. You can see the town right there, and that is where I'm heading towards. It's going to be a good day. Woo, woo, woo. Let's do it. Now, in part 1 of the trail, we explored the sites around Pendle Hill that were associated with the Pendle Witches, and now I would be following the trail they took through the Ribble Valley and Forest of Bowland, all the way to Lancaster Castle, where they were imprisoned and eventually executed. The trials were held between the 17th and the 19th of August in 1612. One of the accused, the widow Old Demdike, perished in the cold dark dungeons before she could stand trial. Maybe she was the lucky one. Okay, I've come to a really steep bit, really steep descent down the side of Pendle Hill. I think I'm going to have to put the camera away for a minute and get my hiking pole out because I don't know whether my poorly knee that I still buggered up from the Snowdonia Way mountain route is going to be okay going down this. It looks like a sheer drop off the side. It's a bit crazy. I'll show you in a second on the camera. But it's a really steep descent. So wish me luck. I'll get that hiking pole out. Now this is hardcore. Let me show you what I've just done so far in just a second. I can see why this trail has got its rating as it does. That is steep, like seriously steep. I managed it down with only one minor fall. I need these. My legs are now like jelly. I need a sugar fix and then I'll be on my way. Haribo, snacks. But just a word of warning, the section alongside the river straight after is pretty difficult too. Wow. Okay, that section coming down off Pendle Hill, that was tricky, the whole lot. Okay, first of all, you've got the really steep descent, so your legs are like absolute jelly. And then when you get down towards the stream section, there's not really a definite path. I'm trying to follow the line on the map, and it's just, I've fallen down a little ridge twice. You just have to kind of wade through and try and get to the woods any way that you can. But I'm here now. I'm on a little woodland section. Hopefully it'll be a little bit nicer to me. I can hurry up and get into town. Let's do it. I had jolted my knee and scraped my elbow, but I think I was just so relieved to be on a flat path now, they weren't really an issue. I was a bit gutted I had dropped one of my water bottles into the stream without realising at the time, but all minor worries. I was enjoying the woodland and the weather had warmed up nicely. Okay, we've reached some farmland section. We've got some gated fences and the route is taking me through quite a few fields just before we get to town. I'm really hoping now that I'm on my own I don't go past any cows, because I've actually got a really big fear of cows after I was chased this one time, so my heart's going. I'm a bit nervous, especially after the morning I've had. It's been a bit of an ordeal so far this morning, coming down off that hill and getting to this point. Yeah, so just please pray for me we won't encounter anything too scary between here and Clitheroe, okay? I had a quick scout around. So far, so good. Just sheep. But due to a few of the fences I was supposed to go through being tied shut, I had to do a bit of climbing over. Now this seemed to be a running theme of the day. The GPS route would direct me somewhere, but the gates would either be locked, tied up, and at one point there was even an electric fence across the path. Now I wasn't chancing that. Luckily, I was resourceful and brave and took a diversion through a cow field. And guess what? I survived. Last few miles into town, I've got a little scrape where I fell over by the stream, but I'm powering on. I'm just really happy that the weather is nice and sunny today and it's not absolutely pissing it down, which is making it a lot more bearable. Yeah, just looking forward to getting into town, resupplying and having a few easy miles. What a lovely sunny day. I made it into town and resupplied at Lidl before having a quick look around. But as I was leaving, I came across the next obstacle. A housing development being built right across the trail. I swear this trail is cursed for me. There's building work going on, so I've had to take a little diversion. I'll show you exactly where on the map. I think that's it, that path will be closed for good. So I'll make sure I let the hiker app know so they can adjust the route. But yeah, the sun is still shining, just passed through town, did a little resupply. Sorry about the noise, that's the building work. Let's crack on. I took the diversion. Right, back to the story. The main witness used in the Pendle Witch trials was Demdike's own granddaughter, 9-year-old Janet Device. Normally, children would not be able to testify, but under King James's ruling, all normal rules of evidence could be suspended for witch trials. Janet gave evidence against all of those who had attended the witches' meeting I mentioned in part 1, and this included her own mother, sister and brother. Janet's mother, Elizabeth, had to be dragged from the court screaming and cursing as her own child's accusations condemned her to death. Okay, back to the trail. After the diversion coming out of Clitheroe, it had been plain sailing through the area along the Ribble Valley. I had passed through Bashall town and was making good time. My knee had started to ache a little from the steep descent and the fall I had taken earlier, but was still managing okay, and my earlier thoughts that this trail had been cursed were melting away as I enjoyed the pretty countryside. Now, a couple of people laugh at my fear of cows. I want to know, what is your big phobia? Let me know in the comments. If it's funnier than cows, I want to know about it. So, I'm going to have to take yet another diversion. Now, the place I was trying to go through, I'll show you where it is on the map. There was, I think it was like a cow farm, but there was a massive barking dog, with no lead. I couldn't find an owner anywhere behind the gate, and also just fields and fields worth of cows, like massive ones. And when I'm on my own like this, I'm like, I just feel a bit uneasy about it all. So I was like, no, I'm going to take a diversion. I'm going to take the road, because that's the only possible way I can get to where I need to be going without going through this part. I'll show you what diversion I'm taking on the map. I'm a bit gutted, but I'm just too scared. I'm too scared of the dog and the cows, and I've been feeling a little bit anxious for the last kind of couple of miles anyway, so I'm just not going to risk it. I let my anxiety get the better of me and took the road diversion, but my gut feeling has served me well in the past, so I wasn't going to beat myself up about it. Even if the dog had been friendly, I might have accidentally let it out whilst getting through the gate. Okay, I've joined back up with the path, and currently I'm just looking for somewhere to camp. Trouble is, the stream I was relying on to fill up my water was dry. So now there's a whole new ball game because I'm really thirsty and I've got no water. So I might even have to go and knock on a house or something. Eek. I decided instead to push onwards to Burkitt Fell, my original plan. Okay, I'm on to open moorland. It's just been crazy. Things that are meant to be footpaths are just completely overgrown. I hope I get a bit more luck on this section. I could see my wild camp destination in the distance, but getting to it wasn't looking easy. The grass was up to my chest in places, and the ground was deep rivets. I kept falling down them. Well, time was ticking on, and I needed to make a smart decision. I opted to go back on myself and along the road to a patch of woodland I'd seen on the map. I thought there might be a suitable wild camping spot there. I pitched up as the sun started to set, then remembered I had barely any water as the two streams I'd passed had dried up. I managed to scrape up some murky puddle water and prayed my filter would do its job properly. I mean, this looked like gravy. Just to let you all know, I drank that muddy water all through the night and I was absolutely fine. No repercussions whatsoever, which is a godsend. So I highly recommend that filter. That was the Catadin B3, absolutely brilliant. But I am going to tell you now what happened after I stopped filming. So I turned off the camera, got into my sleeping bag because I was absolutely shattered. It'd been a bit of an ordeal of a day. And went to go to sleep when I heard a voice saying, "Excuse me, hello? Do you know that this is private property?" I crawled out the tent and there was a farmer and his dog. It turns out the woodland that I'd found to wild camp in actually belonged to this farmer. He was a gamekeeper and it was full of pheasants. We did have a little chat and he was absolutely fine and he did let me stay. He even said that himself and his wife are up in the house if there's anything that I needed. They were actually very, very sweet. But after that, you know, I sat and thought about it. I thought, I've not really enjoyed today as much as I would have done had Johnny still been there. You know, due to my anxiety with the cows and all the diversions and the wild camping incident. So I decided to finish the trail there and go back and complete it when Johnny can come with me. So I called Johnny. He came and picked me up in the morning, like a nice and shining white car, and ferried me back home. And yeah, I'm going to head back up to Lancashire as soon as Johnny's got some time off, maybe early next year, and we are going to finish this trail. So unfortunately, didn't finish it all in one go, but never mind. These things happen. And look who I found, everybody. It's my glamorous assistant, Danny!
Hi, I hope you didn't miss me too much.
Now what have you got there, Danny?
Now I've got the Pendle Witches Way Officially Smashed It medal.
Yes, indeed. Now, because I didn't actually complete the trail, I am not going to have this medal for myself. I'm actually going to give it away to anybody who can let me know in the comments that they've completed this trail. Let me know, I'll get in touch and I'll send this out to you free of charge.
And whilst you're here, don't forget to check out the website, officiallysmashedit.com. Dizzy makes sustainable zero plastic hiking medals in her little Santa's grotto downstairs. You can get any trail and you can also get personalised ones as well.
Yep, and they're perfect as gifts because Christmas is coming up soon. So please check it out. It's my new small business, officiallysmashedit.com. Thank you so much for watching and we'll both catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.